uh, to be the venue for our nomination of presidential candidates. We're just waiting for one small detail before we start our program. But thanks for keeping time. I hope you are at ease because we're at home. Home is a place where we're supposed to be at ease. Well, naturally air conditioned. So I hope you enjoy the environment, and we'll get to know more about this place in a few minutes when we go through the brief formalities that we're going to. The press, you are welcome, and there will be, our program will run as follows. We will have anthems and a word of prayer, and then we will have a brief from National Housing and Construction Corporation, and thereafter the chairperson will address us, and we'll have formalities, a few documents to over here, and a ribbon to cut. So after that, there will be an opportunity to ask a few questions that you may wish to put to the commission, and then we will have a health break, and we'll come back together for our National Organizing Committee meeting, during which members of the press will be excused. Okay? So briefly, that's our program, and we'll be starting shortly, waiting for finalization of just one small detail, which is being worked on. Otherwise, the commission is here. Members of the commission, you're welcome. And I know the chair will officially welcome you to this place as the head of the house, because we have a head of the house at the commission. Thank you, and we'll be taking off shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ, please can you prepare our anthems because we are ready to start our function. I'm going to ask us to stand up for the singing of the anthems. Thank you. Okay, let's do our anthems a cappella. Oh, Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hands. United, free for liberty, together with all rest stand. E Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu zote tujilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. We remain standing for a word of prayer. Today is Thursday. We are taking possession. How many say amen to that? Amen to that, yes. I like it. God is a God who places his people. He's a God who settles his people in homes, in families, in communities, in countries, in nations, isn't it? We see that in all the scriptures that we read. And we thank him that he's done that. So let's give a word of thanks to God. Father in heaven, we want to thank you for this day when we take possession of this place as Electoral Commission. And so we dedicate it for the good conduct and organization of elections, for the good welfare and the good governance of the people of Uganda. Receive the glory and the honor now and evermore. Amen. Thank you. Lord Chair and members of the Commission, we have stakeholders from various MDAs, the media, and the community, and they're here to witness this glorious and joyous day. At this moment, I would like, without any further comments or remarks, to invite the CEO of National Housing and Construction Corporation to take us through his presentation and remarks. Thank you.
The chief guest at today's historical occasion, the chairman of the Electoral Commission and the commissioners, the chairman of the board, National Housing, and staff and members of National Housing, the Secretary Electoral Commission, of the Electoral Commission, the political leadership of this country in different levels present with us today, members of Fourth Estate, the press, invited guests, members of the National Organizing Committee, ladies and gentlemen, It's my pleasure this morning to receive you at this location called Rweza B. Ruboa, which is going to be, or from now on, the permanent home for the Electoral Commission. I guess I can go on. Allow me to recognize the Minister of Works and Transport, General Katumba Edward Wamara. You're welcome, Honorable Minister. I want to do simple salutation that on behalf of National Housing and Construction Company Limited, the landlord and principal developer of the project, I salute you all and welcome you to this National Organizing Committee meeting at Rweza Ruboa, where we witness the unveiling of the permanent home for the Electoral Commission. This event is historic, chief guest, that we shall be handing over the venue to the Electoral Commission as National Housing. Chairman of the National Organizing Committee and members, you recall that at the last NOC meeting, which was held at this venue on September 12th, it was agreed that the official handover of the venue to the Electoral Commission would be today, September 19th, 2025. Chair and members, as National Housing, we are excited to report that works were expedited, and today we witness the handover of the venue to the Electoral Commission. I wish to confirm that the works have been professionally and technically prepared to hold the presidential nominations that are scheduled for September 23rd and 24th, 2025. At the last NOC meeting, I labored to highlight the process we ran through to deliver this site from being a green site, a green field, to what it is today in a period of 6 weeks. You will recall that on July 30th, 2025, the Right Honorable Prime Minister was at this venue and she undertook the groundbreaking for preparation of this site. It was a tall order on us as National Housing. We want to apologize that we could have sidestepped a number of processes and protocols, but we were cautious of the fact that this event, which is the presidential nominations, is a statutory requirement and it had to happen. So we're excited that in this period of 5 weeks, chief guest, we got support from everybody, and the works you see at site are dictates and commands from the National Organizing Committee. All the organizing committee meetings were held at this venue, and it also acted as inspection period for the progress. Chair, the symbolic phase that we are witnessing today, as had been communicated by the Right Honorable Prime Minister, is the first phase of development of this site. And so today we shall hand over the site to facilitate the nominations. But soon after the nominations, we shall receive back the site to continue with those works that are necessary for the tarrying come January, February 2026. You'll be able to see additional infrastructure come on board that will facilitate the meetings and engagements that will be at site beyond what you can achieve during the nominations. And we also commit that after the presidential elections, January, February, we shall receive back the site and continue with the ultimate permanent works that will entail the entire infrastructure for the functionality of the Electoral Commission. For today's occasion, what we are handing over is summarized in the notes that I've shared to the bench, and I just simply would highlight chief guest, chair, and commissioners and members with us, is that the entire land is 10 acres, which will house, will become the home of the Electoral Commission. However, where we are seated, the paved area is a total of 3.5 acres, and we have an additional 2.5 acres prepared where you've done your parking, and which will be upgraded after the nominations to look a little more smarter than it is, in readiness for this place being a tourist center and declaration area for the president. Chief guest, the works that have been achieved on this premises, which we are handing over, include one, when you are coming in, you notice the paved area, which is about 400 meters long, 7 meters wide, with a carriageway of 1.2 meters. It has alongside a pedestrian sidewalk, and an open side drain in stone masonry to facilitate stormwater runoff. As we inspect later on, you'll find that we are required to put 3 flag poles. They are right there, and I do not know at what point these flags will begin to fly. I thought this was one of the occasions when they would be flying. We undertook quick building infrastructure, and we confirm that the places of convenience, both for the VIPs and the general public, are fully installed and at site. Those also have provisions for people with disabilities. I also want to confirm, Chief Guest, that we installed a container which is fitted with air conditioning and being the control center for the ICT and internet installations. And at this point, I want to appreciate NITA-U. We worked with them expeditiously to bring the 2 lines, one which comes from the old Entebbe Road, but another line which comes from the Munyonyo Expressway. We want to appreciate Honorable Minister of Works that we got expeditious approval to cross the roads, but also to work along the road reserve to deliver the urgently required internet connectivity. I also want to report, Chief Guest, that this site is fully installed with electricity that is required. I want to appreciate the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited. We worked with them and we completed diversion of the existing 11 kVA line that was running through the middle of the land to the boundary of the land. I also want to appreciate that we installed a 500 kVA transformer complete with concrete bases and accessories, and it is fully terminated and power is running. We also did on-site electrical reticulation system with feeder pillars and cables laid in underground sleeves along the site boundary. So when you look at the poles that will be lighting, providing security, there is a cable network that is running underground. Chief Guest, we have also installed both industrial and soft power points. So at each point, I'm sure systems here are connected, plugged into the socket outlets which we are using for this occasion. We also are able to bring on site a 400 kVA standby generator, and this is already owned by the Electoral Commission with an automatic changeover switch to mitigate should there be any need for alternative power. And if you visit this site at night, it's a well-lit, secured area with solar-powered street lights and hydropower floodlights, just in case. If it's a rainy day and the solar power lighting is not sufficient, the teams at site will be able to switch on the hydropower connectivity. Chair, I've talked about ICT installation that has been achieved, but alongside ICT installation, we also have installed CCTV cameras, which are functional on site. Chair, this said, I want to confirm that the site is ready. As you notice, the boundary walls, there are gates, and a number of accesses, and the traffic mapping has been done by the National Organizing Committee, and for all requirements required, even between now and Tuesday, if there is any matter that needs to be addressed, we are ready and happy to address it. Allow me to conclude by observing that National Housing will maintain key technical staff on the site to guide on any installations and usage. You notice up to even last night we were working, and we need these technical people to be on site to keep guiding on the functionality of these installations. We'll also provide the commission with as-built drawings, but we also want to mention, especially that the Minister of Works is with us, that we should be getting into the defects liability period for the works that have been done. We'll observe this as we use the site. We request that the construction committee will remain in force for the various phases of the construction, which I alluded to earlier on. And I want to commit that a detailed report comprising of the costed bills of quantities, specifications, and as-built drawings will be submitted to the Electoral Commission at a later date. I'm happy. We're told in the Bible that Jesus was born at Bethlehem, and somebody last time said this venue will henceforth become the birthplace for presidents of Uganda. So we are happy as a National Housing to be part of this historical process, and at a later time I hope we'll be able to unveil the site and also sign a certificate of official handover of the venue. For God and my country, I thank you.
Our chief guest, General Katumba Wamala, the Minister of Works and Transport, the Deputy Chairperson, the Electoral Commission, commissioners and staff of the Commission, the Board Chairman, National Housing Construction Company, the CEO together with your team, the Secretary to the Commission, the entire NOC fraternity or family, good morning. Maybe I should have mentioned the media. The media have not been part of these NOC meetings we've been holding here. The media, you're welcome. The partners of the Electoral Commission in disseminating the programs, the activities, and the issues of the Commission to the public. I would like to take this honor to welcome you all to this important event to witness the formal handover of the nomination venue for the presidential aspirants for the 2026 general elections. The choice of this venue is not only geared at hosting the said nomination process, But ultimately and most significantly, this is the proposed home for the Electoral Commission. I would like to thank the government of Uganda for the commitment to fund the whole enterprise or process of the EC acquiring its home. To us, this is a confirmation of the commitment of government in ensuring that the democratic processes of this country are nurtured, groomed for the betterment of the governance of our country. I would also like to commend you, our chief guest, for the active role you have played together with your ministry in the rendering support to this important enterprise. I recall the meeting you hosted in your office in order to sort out some issues to make sure this site is ready for this important activity, devoid or without any glitches or delays. Thank you, Honorable Minister. The construction of the EC home, as I said, is an indication of the desire to nurture our democracy by ensuring that the institution tasked with making it possible for the people of Uganda to express their will and consent on who should govern them and how they should be governed by holding regular, free and fair elections. That institution is housed in a permanent state-of-the-art home. To me, that is a clear sign that the government is committed to ensuring that the voice of the people is heard, respected, and implemented by the Electoral Commission. Today, as we mark the official handover of the site or venue to NOC, not the commission, to NOC, because NOC is in charge of this site. And therefore, all of you who are part of this NOC enterprise, this is your site, and that's why you are here. We want to ensure that everything that is required to make sure the exercise of Tuesday and Wednesday next week is successful goes without any problem. And it's for that matter, therefore, I don't have to make lengthy remarks because the CEO has said it all about the journey they have taken from the time they started and work on this site up to the present. In a special way, therefore, allow me to commend the National Housing Construction Company, the board chairman, CEO, and your entire staff for indeed proving the detractors wrong that you could do it, and you have done it. As I said, we have other important tasks to do. After this ceremony is over, we have our formal NOC meeting. Remember, we have less than 5 days to go. We have less than 5 days to go. So all systems, we should make sure all systems are firing on full cylinder. Therefore, allow me for now to stop here, but I just want to say probably that since the media is here, the Electoral Commission would like to inform the country that adjustments we have made in the roadmap for the presidential elections, particularly in the area of campaigns. The roadmap was reading that campaigns would start on the 4th of October. But we realized people nominated on 23rd, 24th, 4th October, almost 2 weeks. When people are geared to go, they are raving to hit the campaign trail. The hormones are all fired up. You hold these people for almost 2 weeks. You hold them down. We found that Mr. Mwesigwa will have a hard time trying to keep people under control. So as a commission, we have resolved to revise the dates for campaigns. Instead of starting on the 4th, the presidential candidates, those who will get nominated, will hit the campaign trail from the 29th of September. 29th of September. That's when they'll hit the campaign trail. So that, because a whole 10 days is too much to keep people who are ready to go, they have been declared the candidates, you say, no, you hold on, no. 29th September, in any case, their constituency is so big, it's the whole country. So we felt we need to adjust that period, and they hit the campaign trail on 29th December. Oh no, September. Those who are ready, those who are ready. Secondly, even for parliamentary, after we left here, we were informed that on the 15th and 16th October, there is a semi-international conference that is going to take place in Uganda. That is in the NAM, Non-Aligned Movement Mid-Term Review Conference, which is to be held in Uganda on those 2 days, which we had earmarked for nomination of those aspiring to contest for parliament. And some of the actors in that NAM conference are cabinet ministers and other maybe MPs and so on, who are likely to take part in the nomination process. So I requested by Minister of Foreign Affairs to review the nomination period for members of parliament. We have accordingly, the commissioners accordingly adjusted that period to 22nd, 23rd, or 21st, 22nd? 22nd and 23rd of October. That's when the MPs will get nominated in their respective electoral areas. All right? So presidential candidates, campaigns will start on 29th of September. Now, as I said, we have so much to do. Once again, I want to thank you, Honorable Minister, for having found time from your busy schedule to come and witness this important ceremony. We hope to see you next week. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I think after here, Julius, we are going to the formal process. You take us, tell us what there is, cutting the cake, whether it's champagne, what it is, you tell us what is there. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord Chair, for that statement, and the CEO. There is going to be a brief ceremony. So as you see, as you noticed, we all came in through this.
Sorry. Now I'm so excited because I saw the ribbons there. And I was forgetting one important protocol. Honourable Minister, before we go for that ceremony, people you are, so we shall be to receive the words of wisdom and encouragement from you. Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, the Chair, Electoral Commission, members of the Electoral Commission, the National Housing Corporation Chair, Board, and the team, security officers, members of NOC, members of the press, and everybody. Good morning, and you're welcome. And to celebrate together with the Electoral Commission and National Housing for having come this far. So I also, Chair, I want to congratulate you for leaving, that very soon you'll be leaving that swamp. Because you are staying in the swamp like frogs, but now this journey has been a very, very fast journey, and I want again to thank the National Housing Corporation. We stampeded you, but you have proved a point. As we realized, we took the Electoral Commission away from their home around Kitugum House because we are going to start doing the lot 2 of the flyover, which will be passing over that place. So when we displaced them, they went to 6th Street. Is it 6th or 7th? 7th. Then the floods welcomed them. Then it was a problem. Now, the idea of this place had kind of came early, but we had not really looked at how fast it could be done. So, in collaboration with the National Housing Corporation, they came and assured me, and they said, we can turn that place around. And we get people from Chambogo with all the pains of driving there. Some things sometimes comes with the new things come with a challenge, but also with an opportunity. We also realized that we cannot use Nambole because of AFCON. The stadium has been it's now off access because of AFCON. So now we had to make sure that the Electoral Commission gets into a home and a permanent home. So this is please don't say these people. This is first phase, and again, as you have heard, it has just taken months for the National Housing Corporation to do this job. So I think they have done a good job. We give them a round of applause, and we trust that from now on, we are not going to doubt your capacity and your capability. Yeah. So thank you very much. It means you must have worked double the effort to be able to turn a bush into something as hospitable as this. So please, when another challenge comes, I think I can now backone them. Of course, the environment is much, much better than possibly where we're in Chambogo, and I think we shall have a better management of the process. I want to appeal to my officers from the police, especially the traffic management team, to start planning in detail the traffic management around this area. This area has a lot of advantage, that there are a number of ins and outs which can be used, and without necessarily causing inconvenience to other road users. So going forward, I think we need to sit down and have a very well thought out and detailed traffic plan to enable people drive in and others use, because there are other, like up there, there are residents, on the other side there are hotels, and as you have heard, it's on the spa which goes to Munyonyo, so there are also visitors who might be using that, but we have a number of routes which can be better, proper organized. So otherwise, I want again to congratulate both the Electoral Commission and National Housing for having come this far, and everything, as the Chinese say, even 1,000 kilometers, you start with one step. So the step has been moved, so we are going to have, I think, a very magnificent home in future here, where the democratic processes of our country will be initiated and also secured. Thank you very much, and thank you for turning up. Thank you for gracing the occasion and giving support to these two entities. I wish you all the best. And as we go into the electoral process, again, I can't fail to convey this message. I normally do it whenever I get 2, 3, 4 people. We are not the first country to go into an electoral process, and will not be the last. Yeah? Many countries have gone through it. Let us be observant of peace and security. That should be our cornerstone. We must all preserve the peace and security. There is no need to harm each other during these campaigns or the elections. There's no need. Allow each Ugandan to exercise his right, because his candidate or her candidate is inside. She knows or he knows who the candidate is. Allow them to exercise their rights peacefully. Peacefully. Please let's not antagonize each other, because the elections are just a few months. You have had, starting 24th this month, by January it is finished. Ngachuwede. Why do you hurt your neighbor? Simply because the candidate he or she supports is not the candidate you support. It doesn't make sense. So let's be observant of peace and security. It is one thing which has enabled our country to reach this far, that even national housing was able to build during day and night. Otherwise, there were times when we could not move after 9, actually after 3. Some of you are young, you didn't see this. In this country, there was a time when if something came to you, or you got hurt at 3 p.m. in the city, everybody would ask, what were you doing there? Yes, but now you can work, you can walk, you can have fun throughout the night. So let's keep peace, because there's nothing more valuable than that. It's the cornerstone, it's the turnkey to all the developments we are looking forward to. Other, thank you very much for coming, and I wish you a nice function. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. At this moment, we are going to witness a signing ceremony, and I would like to invite the National Housing and Construction Corporation. There is the board chair and the executive director. They will come and sign off here at this point. Thereafter, the high table will proceed through. Yes, the board chair and yes, the board chair and executive director, the CEO, can come here, the witness, sign. And then thereafter, the high table will proceed. Those of you can accompany us, and we will cut the ribbon and come back here.
Chief guest, we're going to sign a certificate of handover. And as you recall, we've been on a journey with the Electoral Commission right from relocation of 7th Street, rather from Ginger Road to 7th Street. And then National Housing provided the land and the designs, and now the first phase, the emergency construction for the nominations and the Tare Center. But after this process, as I mentioned, we shall proceed with the main construction. So for record purposes, it's important that a document and instrument is signed to recognize the working relationship between the entities of government, National Housing, and the Electoral Commission. So this certificate that we are going to sign together with the Secretary and witnessed by our chairpersons reads Certificate of Handover. It has emblem National Housing and the Electoral Commission and our parent, the government of Uganda. And it reads, this is to confirm that National Housing and Construction Company Limited has this day of September 19th, 2025, handed over to the Electoral Commission customized grounds for the presidential nominations at Rweza Ruboa. It will be signed on behalf of National Housing by myself, the Chief Executive Officer, and on behalf of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Richard Babo, the Secretary. Chief Guest, this is what we are signing so that it's on record that this venue was handed over to the Electoral Commission for further processes. Otherwise, Engineer Kijuka Kenneth is my name, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer at National Housing.
As mentioned earlier, after handing over to Electoral Commission of the venue or the site, the Electoral Commission will hand over to National Organizing Committee, which is shared by me.
So that's the signing ceremony. And now, Lord Chair, we are going to be led, members of the commission and management and the chief guest, we are going to be led through this gate to go and cut off the ribbon and return here. Those of you who can join us can do that. Otherwise,
Please, members of the National Organizing Committee, remember, come back here. Don't go away. After the ceremony, come back for business.
yes. Members of NOC, in the meantime, those who have not come to join us there, you can pick your refreshment in the refreshment tent. And then we'll reconvene for our NOC meeting. Thank you very much. Members of the press, we will have the chair talk to us from a certain point because we're not coming back here during the NOC meeting. Thank you very much.
Okay. Kamera wano kamera. Bantekamu waya.